All right. Tonight, we have a wonderful special guest. We have Natasha Tome with us. And if you haven't had a chance, we have a meditation that has been uploaded to our YouTube by Natasha. We did a full moon meditation a couple of weeks ago. It was absolutely lovely. So I encourage you to check that out. But tonight, we're going to do something very special. Now, Natasha, she was born and raised in Mississauga, Ontario, and now living in Kelowna, BC. Natasha is a natural empath with full sensory abilities, but shut down at an early age and didn't venture back to the spiritual world until her 30s when a chronic physical issue led her to visit her first energy healer. From then on, it was like a divinely guided flow of information and experiences that reopened a whole new world for her. Starting with a Qigong workshop one weekend to 17 years later, her studies and experiences have taken her across 5 continents and 6 countries and reawakened skills and lines of communication with the highest beings of light beyond the veil. This all took place while working in a successful corporate career and studying with various teachers and mentors on the weekends. After many years, her soul kept crying out to follow a more fulfilling path, and in 2017, she finally took the leap of faith to move into a spiritual role full time. Now working as a certified Reiki master, angelic energy master, psychic medium, author, and channeler of guided meditations available on YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes, she communicates and works with her spiritual team to bring in universal wisdom and energy for healing and guidance. She acts as a conduit to help people reawaken and realign to their true potential. As we have so much spiritual help available to us, we just have to ask. Natasha, big welcome to the group. How are you feeling tonight?
Thank you. I'm feeling great. I feel honored that I'm here, that everyone joined, ready to hear what I have to share. And the whole spiritual world is also jumping up and down for joy. Happy that people are talking about them and hopefully, yeah, asking for help for more or more often.
That's fantastic. So let's get down to nitty gritty. Maybe something that a lot of people tonight want to know: who and what is our spiritual team?
Well, it's every being that I communicate with comes from God. So we have angels, we have dragons, we have ascended masters, ancestor guides, and spirit guides. And I'll go into each one with a little bit more depth. But I just wanted to, before I do that and go into detail, I just wanted to say that there's just such a thin veil of a different vibrational frequency between us and them. And they're very high vibration, and we have to kind of raise our vibration, keep our energy clear so that we can meet, they'll come down a tiny bit, but we more have to go up to them to get that guidance. But if someone could see that, they're chattering to us all day long, to our higher self, our soul, and it's just whether our physical self, our ego self can listen and open those channels. But we have a spiritual, it's like a cheerleading team with us all the time. They're here to support us, encourage us, guide us, help us through this human experience. But like you said, we have to ask for their help because we have free will. So, if we don't ask, they won't intervene unless it's a life-threatening situation and it's not our time to pass on. If we're making wrong decisions, they'll maybe suggest alternative options if we're open to that. It took me 15 years to get one message from them, which I will mention later. It was they first started telling me about my marriage. Oh, maybe it's a good idea if you part ways very amicably. And then, yeah, 15 years later we did, but it took a while. They were very patient before they got that message across. Okay, so I'll start with angels. Angels, their very meaning means messenger from God, and or messenger really. And there's angels for everything. Every blade of grass has an angel. If I have an electronic problem, I still call on the angels. I ask them for help. I'm like, can you fix this? If my toilet's running, I do call the landlord, but I also say, angels, can you help this problem? We also have archangels, and they're the ones that have names. So, for instance, there's Archangel Michael. He is our protector angel. I call him my spiritual bodyguard. Before I do any connection, I call in Archangel Michael. He clears our energy. Archangel Raphael is a healing angel. Gabriel is for communication, for helping our creativity. But the other angels really have no names. You can just call on travel angels, um, weather angels sometimes, or weather elementals, angels in general. I once had a teacher who told me there's a lot of unemployed angels out there. So just call on them for everything. And now I even do for parking. I say, parking angels, can I please find a parking spot there? And then, of course, we have our guardian angel, who is with everybody. Every single person has a guardian angel, regardless of faith or belief system. And they're with us from birth until physical passing. And sorry, I just got distracted there for a minute. So the guardian angel, we're going to do a meditation later to meet your guardian angel. And they're the ones that are closest in vibration to us. So it's probably why, we all start first connecting with our guardian angel. And that's why I chose that meditation, that we connect with them, because they're closer in vibration. I always picture mine like here or behind me, but of course, he's everywhere. And they will never leave, no matter what. They're always with you. And let me just see what else.
Pause for a second. Hold that thought, because I think Tish actually wants to maybe ask a question of something maybe that you're just speaking about. So before we get too far, maybe we can take a question from Tish. Tish, how are you feeling tonight?
Good, very good, thank you. I do have a question, Natasha. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but it's a burning thought. It's about your with angels. I just recently read a passage in the Bible with my daughter regarding the book of Tome, where Raphael, the Archangel Raphael, assisted Tome. And my question is, will these angels actually manifest in the physical for us, even though we won't be aware? Can they?
Well, they won't come in a way, like I've asked that too. I'm like, I'd like to see you physically. And they're always like, that's a very human thing to request. But they will come through as, when we need help. Like I've had people tell me about stories when their cars broken down and this random guy walked around the corner of a building, helped them with the car, very nice energy, and then walked away and they never saw him again. So that is like an angel, an earth angel that's come down to help someone physically. But as in terms of tangibly or anything we can see, I would see them more as energies that they would come down. But they could change their minds. You never know. I think with enough people believing, maybe perhaps, but I think it's always going to be more energy that we feel.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right, so we have angels. Natasha, was there anything else about angels that you wanted to touch on there?
Just that there's no limit to asking them for help. You can call upon them the darkest times, the lightest times. You can, for everything, every little tiny thing. You can send angels to public places to raise the vibration. You can send angels to people because they won't interfere with free will, but it will kind of lighten the vibration around someone. So no, that's angels. Any other questions with angels?
Anyone have any other questions for angels before we move on? We can definitely take those now. Otherwise, I think we have a couple. Darkis, welcome. It's been a while since I've seen your beautiful face. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, thank you. How about archangels? I know there's no hierarchy, but are they like a legion and they kind of oversee the angels? Is there anything true about archangels?
Yes, I would say if we had to put a hierarchy to angelic beings, that the archangels would be at the top, I guess. because they have a name, they have responsibilities, you know, that, well, not responsibilities, but they're certain things that they focus on, like Archangel Raphael is healing. Like I mentioned, Gabriel is creativity. Azrael helps souls pass on when they die. So yeah, there is definitely a team of major archangels, and then
Thank
any
you.
other angel underneath that is just angels. Yeah,
Thank you.
no problem.
What if I doubt a famous archangel group that I've been following for years and years and years, very popular in the spiritual community? What if I doubt? I have even doubt the channeler or even what the archangels are saying. And this is very recent. Am I going to go to hell because of that? I know. Am I sin? Oh, you sin. I can even doubt. Oh my gosh, I can see myself Baptist there in the South. You had sin, my child.
There's no judgment, not at all.
Well, my gosh,
but you do have to
them, but I just doubt, especially concerning the vax, because according to this famous group, we have to trust the scientists, and yes. So I wonder if that person who's been channeling these archangels for 50 years, if that person and husband have been compromised. Is that possible? Or
yes.
is it my ego who doesn't want to see clearly? According to them, I'll do that very quick and short, but it's been bothering my conscience.
No, you're right to trust your gut, because
I trust my gut over these famous archangels, and I go, oh my God, Theo, forgive me, but I'm not resonating with you for the first time. I'll be damned.
Theo, I know of Theo. Yes. I haven't listened to them for a while, but I think
they've been saying that.
Darkis, let Natasha answer, and then we can get to the other questions. Okay. Thank you.
You know, yes, it is true. They could be compromised. And I was going to get back to that later on when we talk about spiritual hygiene. You know, when you call upon an angel, if you're calling upon an archangel, you always ask for the highest light, you know, Archangel Michael of the highest light of God, because there are dark forces. We all know it, you know. I'm not going to bring darkness into the conversation, and they're impersonating a lot of well-known spiritual beings. So always, you know, ask for the highest light of everybody, angel, dragon, ascended master, you know, and of course I'll talk about protect the space that you're in as well. You know, I would never go in a public place and ask an angel to come and talk to me. But, you know, it's funny, I heard that as well. Abraham Hicks, who also channels, you know, they're also pushing the vaccine. Anyway, we won't get into that.
We're not here to talk about that. But I really liked what Farah wrote in the chat there. Follow your heart. Don't listen to any other commentator, whether they're a channeler, whether they're this or they're that. What does Darkis's heart say? What does her spirit say? I think that's the voice that we want to be listening to at all times. But we have another lovely voice here, Raymond. Raymond, what's going on tonight?
Thank you for the flattery. I just wanted to know if there was any connection between seeing numbers 222, 333, 1111, 555 at every aspect of the day.
Absolutely, yes. Usually if there's a lot of 111s, it's like a message is coming in. Start to become aware what you're hearing, watching, seeing, or reading, or set time aside for meditation. You know, 222, I can't remember what the meaning is at the moment, but 555, it means change. 444 is the angelic numbers always. So it's definitely something. If you keep seeing those repetitive numbers, that's a message from the spirit world definitely coming in. And you can Google it too, like the spiritual meaning of those numbers. But it's usually a message.
Yeah, so I'm not too keen on internet info, but I was just curious because I'm getting a lot of 222s, more 222s and 555s in the last week. It's ridiculous.
I just remember, yeah.
I was
Go
gonna say,
on.
can we have a quick show of hands of all people who experience these sequence of numbers in any kind of fashion, whether it's 1111, 444, 222. Yeah, just raise your hands so we can maybe your digital hands, your physical hands, anybody. I think we definitely thumbs up. A lot of us do.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think they're speaking to all of us. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I just got 222 is faith. Have faith. That change is coming because 555 is also change. So yeah, it's definitely a message coming in from the spiritual world.
Okay, thank you.
That's
No
awesome.
problem.
Shirley, welcome. Figuring out your mute there, Shirley. There you are.
Okay. Thanks so much. I love the meditation, and I love this conversation, and especially with regards to the V. I have had such an estranged relationship with my kids, and I send them light and love every night. Ask for protection from my angels and to them, and some of our loved ones have passed on, and I guess what I want to know is that if we know that they are in the highest of vibration, like my mother and my children's granddad, can we know that they're, if we're not seeing the results that we want in a situation, can we know that they're working together with the angels, and that sometime thing, it's just going to take time?
Do you mean people who've passed on, or
Yeah,
we're still okay?
because that was sort of, I've had such a transformation in my life, and my mother's passing was the catalyst to my whirlwind transformation, and it's just been so incredible. But there's a lot of people that don't like this transformation that's come out of me, and now my kids are sort of involved in there, and I send light and love all the time, and I just have to know that they're having their own experience.
Mm-hmm.
But that their loved ones who have passed on are sort of watching over them too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I
That was
mean?
going to be one of the ones I talked about, but I'm going to jump to ancestors. So yes, when they pass on, there's, depending on what their beliefs were in life, there's angels, there's masters, ascended masters, there's past loved ones who are there to meet them. Sometimes pets will come, past pets, other family members. So they'll pull them, help them on that transition, and they go through their own soul review, their journey.
Exactly.
And then after a while, then they can start to communicate through medium, with people who are still living, and act as guides sometimes. Not as evolved as an ascended master guide, but they always tend to, they hang around family because of course they're still concerned for the earthly
Exactly.
people.
Well, that's the whole thing is that if I feel that they're being swayed, and this was before COVID and all that, I think to myself, you know what? I've been through so much. This COVID is nothing. I cannot believe that it's going to affect the future of what we had lost, in our relationship. So I just have to believe, and I'm just wondering if there's anything else I should be doing or could be doing that's gonna. I don't think there is, because I think they have to have their own experience and journey, just like I have.
They do. And, once they go on, I mean, it is a better place. It's a place that is such high vibration. And, once they go through their own healing, they just want everybody to know who's still living that they're happy, they're fine, and they're more alive than ever.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about my own kids. I don't
the
want
ones who are
anything.
alive here. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna go. Thank you so much, Shirley, for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
This seems to be a wonderful topic of discussion. So if I can encourage everyone maybe to write down some questions you have during, so Natasha can get to all of the wonderful content, because we do have a little bit of some things that we wanted to do as well before we go tonight. And I think we could it sounds like we could just spend all of our night talking about this angel topic for sure. So Natasha, please continue with the next piece.
Okay. Just one more thing about family members that have passed. You know, whenever I do a mediumship session with someone, they often prefer, like, the cemetery and the headstone is a nice memory, but they always say, I want a picture in the house. So it's a great way to remember family
Yeah.
members. They'd like a picture in the house with flowers nearby that, because they don't hang around an empty graveyard. You know, this anyway, just something about the
Thank you.
ancestors. So dragons is the next one. They're also from the angelic realm. You know, they're coming a little bit more recently in. Like, I didn't start talking to dragons till 2016, whereas angels came a lot earlier. And they, you know, they're helpers as well. They're protectors. They're clearers. Definite clearing of energy, because they are the best for that, because they can go a lot deeper than angels. So you might feel their energy is a lot stronger as well. You know, and we also have a personal dragon. Actually, my YouTube page, there's a meditation to meet your personal dragon. You can call in a whole bunch, you know, to clear your home, clear. When I would travel on a plane, I'd ask them to clear the airport, clear the plane itself. Uh, they're also good for protecting. You know, I leave a dragon around my car to protect it when I park it somewhere dodgy. Um, you know, that nature connection, there's elemental dragons as well. So sometimes if I don't want a rainy day because I have something I want to do outside, I might just ask, oh, can, you know, air dragons, weather dragons, can we have some sunshine and or less wind or something like that? So, you know, you talk to all these beings like as if like we're talking now, you know, they're just here, open and ready and receptive. So that's dragons. Then I'm going to jump to ascended masters, or, oh, should I answer the question first?
Mira, she had her hand up, and then she was listening to what I was saying, so she put her hand down, then put her question into the chat, and then I said I'll get to her later, but then she said that she had to leave, so maybe we can just answer her questions. Mira wanted to know, if souls reincarnate, how do our ancestors help us? How does that work? Any thoughts and feelings about that, Natasha?
Well, I mean, the answer. Okay, so when we reincarnate, we can reincarnate with family members who we still have soul challenges and lessons that we didn't, you know, we didn't overcome in this lifetime, for instance. So we might, when we both, you know, meet up after that we've passed, we'll say, okay, you want to come back as a mother this time, and I'll come back as a troublesome child, you know, so that we can come up past these challenges. Some ancestors will not incarnate, and they will say, no, we're going to guide you from beyond the veil, from the ether. And, you know, we'll try and do it that way. So it really depends. You know, it's almost like you have a family reunion up once you're in soul plane again, and then you decide who's coming down and who's going to stay.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay. Moving right along. Anything else about dragons, Natasha?
No, that was it. I was going to move to Ascended Masters, and I see there's
Beautiful.
a question about orbs too.
Yes.
So orbs is how we can catch on camera or film the energy of these beings. You know, it can be angels, it could be spirits, it could be ancestors. I haven't seen a dragon orb yet, but it's how we catch that energy. You know, if you go to some high vibrational places like Mount Shasta and you take a picture at night, oh my gosh, there's like all these white orbs everywhere. It's just high energy that's we're able to capture on film. Okay, so I'm going to go to Ascended Masters. So that's people like Jesus, Buddha, Mother Mary. I mean, there's plethora of Ascended Masters. They usually had a human existence, you know, and they've reached that ascended level. And then instead of going on for their soul evolution, they're like, okay, we're going to stick around and help with humans. So them you'd have to call upon. You know, it's not like Jesus hangs around, or for instance, yeah, he's the first one that comes to mind, or Buddha. You know, you would call upon them when you had something specific, like Mother Mary. You can call upon her if there's problems with your children. Jesus for forgiveness. Buddha, if you want to enhance your meditation practice to help you look at your inner self, your inner guidance. You know, and again, would ask for Buddha of the highest light or Jesus of the highest light when you call upon them. Now, spirit guides come and go throughout our life as we need them. So they have always had a human existence, and so they understand a little bit more how the human existence or how the human challenges. And they're overseen by angels, so they can't help as much as angels. Like, you know, angels can do a lot of help behind the scenes of, you know, divine magic, I like to say. Spirit guides are more about guidance, helping you on your path, your divine blueprint. You know, you don't have to worry about their names, although some give their names. You can also call upon, I call upon my creativity guides if you want to write something or speak or, you know, paint. You can call upon my teaching guides and they'll guide you to the right book, the right teacher, that kind of thing. You know, but you have to call upon them because it's almost like, you know, your life is your business and all these guides are your employees. And if you don't call them to work, then they stay at home and you just run the business yourself. So, but the more you call upon them, the more they come and the more, you know, you say thank you, of course, and they'll come and they'll be ready. And you can also say, if you're not sure who to ask for, you can just say, you know, Archangel Michael, can you bring the highest guidance available for me now? Who are my highest guides to help me? And, you know, if you feel or sense a being come in, ask Archangel Michael, is this guide who he says he or she says he is? You can also ask the guide who they are 3 times, you know, because they can't, or at least that's a spiritual law that they can't lie more than 3 times. But you'll also feel the energy, you know, a guide, whether they're angel, dragon, or ascended master or spirit, their guidance is repetitive, it's loving, it's gentle, it's, you know, it's nothing that's telling you anything that's judgy or critical. And it's very faint sometimes. It's almost like, you know, when you think of a song in your head, but you're not speaking anything out loud. So it's almost sounds like that. So it's like a little bit behind and it just plops in. And sometimes it's one word, but we'll get to that. Oh, that's amazing. Linda can see orbs with her physical sight. That's great. That is awesome.
Very cool. Okay. So we've run down some of the different teams here. Why are they helping, or why are they here to help us, or why are they offering this help, Natasha?
It's because the human challenge, I mean, the human existence, can be challenging, and they're here. I mean, when we're born, we go through the veil of amnesia. So we forget our past lives, we forget all the wisdom, we forget the connection, the oneness, the love of being connected to God and source, and you know, and so we get pulled into this 3D world, and they're there to help us remember that connection to God, that connection to that higher level, to that higher perspective, you know, to not just get caught into the material world. It's kind of like one foot on the ground of being grounded, and then the other arm up here, also keeping that spiritual knowledge and support and love and faith, you know, because if you feel that, if you know it's there, there's a lot less anxiety, there's a lot less fear. And yeah, so they're just here to help us in any way they can.
That's awesome. Simona, actually, not too far from me in Waterloo, wants to know, but if they can't lie more than 3 times, should we ask who they are 4 times so we get the right answer?
Yes, sorry, I meant to say that. And also ask Archangel Michael to oversee whoever you call in, so he's protecting it.
Awesome. That's awesome. So when is a good time to contact our spiritual team? Like, I know you mentioned, you know, sometimes you'll do it even when you're driving to find a parking spot, or maybe you need creative help to do this writing or that painting or whatever it is. But is there like an optimal time?
Well, no, it's all the time because they're always with us, but you might find you get answers in the middle of the night, or when you're falling asleep, or when you're in the shower. Because if you ask for guidance, let's say you're asking for, I don't know, as an example, should I move to this city? And then you're waiting with, you know, such tension for the answer. Sometimes we block that answer. So you just kind of have to be like, ask, and then give me 3 signs of 3 physical signs the next 3 days of your guidance. Or it'll come in the middle of the night. You know, when I started talking to dragons, they would throw, I mean, this is unusual, but there would be an umbrella that always fell off the shelf at like 3 in the morning, which would freak me out quite a bit. But because at nighttime, the channels are clearer because everyone's asleep. You know, there's less of the Wi-Fi. There's just a lot of less distractions around. So I find a lot of things come in at night, or yeah, when you're parking, or yeah, in the shower. It's that's when the guidance will come in. But when you first connect, I would do it at home in a protected place to start with. So you're only calling in the high vibrational beings. You don't want to call in everybody.
Absolutely, which definitely brings us to the how. When we're ready to do that, what does that look like, and what are some of the preparations that we should be doing beforehand?
Well, first of all, I always think it's good to keep your energy clear, your personal energy clear, and your home energy clear. So I'm sure everyone here knows how to do that already. So, sea salt baths are wonderful to clean your aura, or if you live by an ocean, jump in the salt water. Saging your house to get rid of negative energies, putting Himalayan salt lamps in the home. I mean, a lot of it is your thoughts too, your emotions. If you're in a very emotional, distressed state, try and calm down a little bit before you would ask for help, because if you have to be calm and a little centered when you're asking. I mean, you can ask for help, but then leave it, don't wait for the answer if you're very distressed, just ask for the guidance in the next few days. So ways to clear your energy. Again, Archangel Michael, you can ask him to clear your energy of all foreign energies, auric debris, other people's energies, because we are all connected. And so I've been walking through once to Canadian Tire, and I walked through an aisle, and all of a sudden I felt so depressed, and I was thinking, what was the purpose of living? And it was just someone's energetic imprint that was there. So you want to clear all that out before you start connecting to anybody. So yeah, ask a fire dragon to clear your energy. Archangel Michael. Walking in nature, sunlight is a great one as well. Earthing, walking barefoot. Calling in your guardian angel to clean your energy with white divine light, and visualize it, because they do their part, but it's our intent as well. So also imagine it as they're doing that and clearing it, and see yourself in that white light. And your home, the same thing, declutter, clean your home. It sounds funny, but energy does it kind of, yeah, if there's a lot of clutter, it kind of stagnates there. And you can clear it the same way with Archangel Michael, with the fire dragons, the sage, with open windows, the salt lamps, which I mentioned, candles, incense, all that is helping to raise the vibration of the home. And also anything you bring into your house, like groceries or a gift, I always ask the fire dragons to just cleanse that energy. Just because you never know, there could have been someone at the supermarket who was in a really bad mood and stocking milk. And then you bring that home and you think, oh gosh, I feel pretty disgruntled. So you just want to clear yourself with the help of the angels and the dragons. And of course, crystals too. But make sure your crystals are cleaned every month at the full moon, because they're like little sponges. So they will absorb the energy of the house too. And I do have, if you still feel that the house is a bit iffy, I have a little invocation. I'll type it out after, to ask Archangel Michael and Metatron to clear the house, clearing away any energy that's not for your highest good. And then shield your energy before you go out into the world. What a nice way is ask Archangel Michael to give me protection, or the dragons. Some people put a symbol in front and behind, like a cross or a Reiki symbol. You can do what resonates with you. You can put in a color, like white is calling in a lot of angelic protection. Pink is for love. Green is healing. Purple is more of a spiritual connection if you're meditating or channeling. And you have to ask them to reapply it every 4 to 6 hours, just because it does dissipate. So before contacting anyone, I would do all this. Clear your energy of your home and yourself, just to make sure that it's your own. It's like your opening meditation. You said that. You covered that already. So it's very true.
Well, there is a reason why we do that. But it's really important, I think, for everyone to get used to whatever, like you said, what works for them, because maybe even what we present, maybe that doesn't resonate, and that's okay, because it's not going to resonate with everybody. But what's important is to find something that resonates with you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Some people just are not into dragons or whatever. Yeah. So whatever works for you. And then once you've cleaned yourself, your home, I would first start connecting within your home, because that is your safe place, that is your protected place. And, I would, with stillness and silence, you can do it in meditation or just sitting outside in the backyard. Call in first Archangel Michael of the highest light and say, please oversee this session, oversee who comes in, who's for my highest good. And then ask, what you need help with, whether it's a job or school or path, anything, you ask for the help. And then take a breath, and you can either just leave it for a bit, unless you get something right away, because everyone is different, and they might drop in a word. Some people might get a visual, some people smell things, some people feel things or get a knowing. So everyone is so individual. I wish it came in like a letter, like, in Harry Potter, how that owl would drop off the letter. Sometimes you get paragraphs, but not all the time. Sometimes it depends how your vibration is too, and what they can get in. So, yeah, so just have a silent moment to ask. And then some people journal too, see what comes out with journaling, but they're always communicating. It's just taking the time to be still. And if you find that you're not getting anything, like, just go do something else, go do gardening, something mindless, driving. Things come in when I drive as well, because it's so automatic, that action. Any questions so far?
No questions yet. But I think we might be getting to a good point where maybe we can bring in some questions. If there's anyone that has questions, please raise your hand using the reactions button, so we can put up the queue. You can also, if you don't feel comfortable speaking, please write your question into the chat, and then we can bring that on as well. But we have Ava, who I haven't seen in a while. Ava, good to see you again.
Yes, hi everybody. Where to start? I had, twice it happened to me. I had the situation that I was under a very big distress, and I was crying for days and weeping and sobbing, and I was very unhappy. And there was the moment in the midst of this crisis that I heard a voice in my right ear. It was like a person or someone was standing next to my ear. I couldn't distinguish if it was male or female voice. And it just gave me a few sentence suggestion what to do. And my question is, was it an angel or was it a spirit guide?
Was the message a good message? Was it a high vibration message?
This was so interesting because the message immediately calmed me down.
Okay.
I was so peaceful and so quiet and so within. It's like, previous days didn't exist of the trauma, or previous hours didn't exist of the trauma. Like immediately I was in peace.
Yeah, then that's definitely an angel. If you feel that visceral emotion, that sense of calm and peace, that's an angel that spoke to you. Yeah, I mean, that's how I first started getting into the angelic world. I was going through a divorce, and I went to this lady who did a guided meditation of angels, and it was my first one. And afterwards, I felt such peace, like, never mind the divorce. I think it was the most peaceful I've been in my life after that meditation. And that's when I started to work more with them. And, yeah, that's how you know that it's a high vibration, when you just have that, that is so loving and peaceful, because that's how they are. They would never advise anything that's not loving or peaceful.
I was surprised that I couldn't distinguish between the sexes, like the voice, it was a voice, there was a message. But later on I was thinking, female, male? No, I couldn't say. I just couldn't say. It was a voice.
Well, I mean, they're energy, so they appear as male or female to us, because that's our human classification. Yes. Like some people say Archangel Gabriel is a female. I see him as a male. So it does. They're non. gender, I guess is the way.
Yeah.
But they'll appear or they'll sound like that because that's how we associate
Yes.
a person. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
That was lovely. Thank you so much, Natasha, and thank you, Ava, for that question. James, good to see you again. How are you doing?
Very good. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Wonderful group, wonderful energy. Thank you for the information. It's really interesting. How do you deal with parallel worlds or vortex?
What do you mean?
Well, literally, you know, I had worse stuff happening at my home and around, you know, I do a little bit of cleaning houses, and sometimes there's vortex where you have spirits coming in and out, or
a portal, okay.
like dorks, portal, if you prefer.
Okay,
So
yeah.
how do you deal with them and experience other portals? Well, when you touch the subject of dragon, it kind of really caught my curiosity. I don't want to get into it too much, but I mean, I'm just trying to.
Go on. Or no, yeah, I call in all the help. You know, the first thing I do is I call in the dragons to clear, let's say it's in a house, right?
Okay.
The fire dragons clear that house, but not just the house, underneath the house, because a lot of energy in the land as well. And then definitely Archangel Michael and all his however many angels he wants to bring. You're like, we have to close this portal because it's a negative portal, and visualize it. I just visualize them doing it. However, they put a piece of metal. I mean, to me, it's metal, but they put an energetic block over there, and welding it shut. I just call in all the angels to do that, and then the dragons again afterwards to clear any energies, residual energies.
Okay, and do you close? How do you close that portal, or do you close that portal? Or?
Well, I let them do it. I asked them to close it for all eternity in all directions of time.
Okay, that's interesting. It's an interesting. Okay, but thank you.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. Yeah.
James, was there something else about dragons that you wanted to dive deeper in there?
Well, this is well, what the heck? I play with crystals, when I clean houses, and I do a little bit of feng shui and make sure that the energy of the house is very clear. And my cat, who's almost my partner, is really receptive and really sensitive in a whole bunch of views. When he picks up energies, he'll pick up dead dogs, or he'll start running around about something, things that are not there. In order for him to calm down, I put a small little crystal in his necklace, and it really helped. He was able to be more calm, more smoother, more relaxed, and it was really, really, interesting thing. A few months go by, and all of a sudden he starts looking over his head constantly, and I'm going, okay, what's going on? So I pick up my tools to find out what was really getting his attention. And I'm saying to myself, oh, come on, give me a break. This can't be serious. I mean, for crying out loud, I mean, what is this thing? And I'm picking up a bird, but it's bigger than a bird. And finally, the information that came through was a baby dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had the same reaction as my wife. Congratulations. But where I started to get nervous, okay, fine, there's the baby dragon. Where's the mother? And when I stepped outside my porch, I could hear like a windmill turning around. And I say, this doesn't feel good at all. I gotta figure something out really quickly, but I'm not feeling comfortable for 1 second. So I was able to, it took me 2 shots to send the kid back, the baby dragon. And then then the mother was still looking for him. And finally I let the mother go also. But I had to do another shot because I had to do them both at the same time. But it was really awkward. It was not like, it was strange because I really felt, like I said, it was a portal and a parallel world. It was not quite the angelic or the spiritual dragon that you'd come upon. This was really, I felt like a parallel world, or a portal opening up right beside me. I mean, I send pictures to Roland. I shared it. I don't know how many people. A lot of people in this group saw the picture that I had a portal opening up in in my bedroom, and the cell of my wife went click, took a picture, and it was really, things that you can't imagine. That, it's like, it was really awkward. I don't know if Roland can send it to you, and if you want to, give me some info on it. But it's
I'd love to see it.
it's really interesting.
Yeah, and if the feeling was not good, I would say it is something coming through a portal.
Yeah,
and I've never heard of light dragons with babies.
Okay, well, me neither.
Like that they're not so possessive and territorial because they're here to help us. So they wouldn't be, having babies and then anyway. But yeah, I would love to see.
So we're dealing with two sorts of dragons.
Also, yeah, of the light and the dark, same with
Okay.
angels. So that's why you also say, I'm sorry if I forgot to say that, call upon the dragons of the highest light as well. Absolutely.
Okay, I'll use any help. I mean, it only happened once, thank God.
So is the portal still open, or?
No. I closed that.
No, you close it. Yeah, yeah, do that.
Want to show me the picture?
Yeah, if you want to, but with please, thank you, Roland.
Yeah, that'd be.
And share the thoughts.
Yeah.
This is on the edge of my bedroom. It's the cell that my wife took the picture. That's my bedroom. And the other picture is what you see that open up with the picture of the cell of my wife took.
Oh, I have chills. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, that's creepy. Okay.
So
yeah, good thing you closed it. And there are negative portals, but then there's some positive portals too. So that's good.
I play with positive also, but this one was really okay.
That's negative. Yeah. Oh yeah, good you closed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. But thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, James. And thank you so much, Natasha, for that. James, thank you so much for giving me that little point though, because my cat is like super temperamental. And so I'm going to put a crystal on her necklace.
I think
I never even thought about that. I have 100 crystals here. I never thought about using it on the cat. Thank you, James. I'm going to do that.
Very welcome. You should have assisted one of my information sessions.
You know what? You are right. You have done some of those BC ones. That's a little late for me. Late for you too, though. But that's okay. Maybe next time we can have another chat. Linda, welcome to the group. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How's everybody? Natasha, I love your energy so much. It's so soothing, so beautiful. This was gosh, I'm trying to keep the story as short as possible. Throughout my whole life, I've had like from I can remember all the way back to being born, if you can believe that. And I was not happy to be here on this planet. And so by the time I was mid-teens, I decided, I don't want anything to do with this spiritual stuff. So I blocked it all, like every good teenager does, right? Because you're the weirdo in the room and you just don't want to be there. So in April of 2006, I had a very bad medical condition, and doctors couldn't figure it out. I had every test you can imagine for the condition that I had. And they tried everything. They could not figure it out. So I was to the point where I was just in constant pain, head to toe, and I couldn't even move. It was just an awful existence. And I'm just laying on my couch. It would take me 15 minutes just to lay down on my couch. And I thought, you know what? I just want to die. I'm so done with this. And I just want to be gone. Anyway, and you mentioned Azrael. I'm sure it was Azrael, and I've told the story many, many times, but have you ever heard tell of an archangel physically touching a person? Because what happened was this, and I'm going to say it's not, and I could still see it clear as anything right beside me. But I could feel its hand wrapped around my arm, and it wasn't cold. It was like an absence of being. So I don't know if that was there to test my strength, test my will, or to say, if you don't smarten up, this is what's going to happen to you. or was it there to actually take me? There was a lot of fire, a lot of smoke. Shortly after that, like within a week, that's when I started to see orbs and just little things going through my living room, and I could tell different colors, and I knew when to take out my camera and take a picture of, okay, so there's another picture, there's another picture. I don't know if you've ever heard tell of an angel like that. Oh, and I have been this is going to sound so weird. I had the honor of going to the deepest, darkest realm you can imagine. I went to the gates of hell, and I was told, yes, you can come in. So I went in, and I was met with another being with a horse head, and he looked at me and said, you don't belong here, get out. And I was kicked out. Can you imagine being kicked out of hell? Anyway.
Well, good. I mean,
I'm so glad, like, so thankful. But have you ever heard tell, and could it have been Azrael there to test me? And
I think what I'm getting from it is, yes, first of all, I have heard of angels touch people in extreme cases like that, or come in as a very high screeching sound, something physical that you can hear or be touched, tangible. I feel he was not making you stay, but kind of holding your hand there. So it wasn't your time, because if it was really your time, your highest self, your soul would have gone,
Yeah.
and I don't think Archangel Azrael would have come and said, oh, you're not ready. Okay, I'm going. I feel it was like he was kind of like, put his hand on your hand and say, this is not your time. There's still a purpose you have. And that's why, you can see there's obviously extra sensory perception
Yeah.
now after that visit. Yeah.
I was actually physically picked up off the couch.
Oh.
I was laying down, and he grabbed my arm and made me sit up, and I was sitting. I can smell him right now. I know exactly what he smells like, and the heat and everything. So as long as it wasn't something evil or alien or anything like that. So you're just kind of picking up that it was a very stern message that it wasn't
your time yet.
It was not my time. Okay.
Yeah.
That's so much peace of mind right there. And yeah, and since then I have had access to the Akashic records.
Oh, wow.
And like I can close my eyes and go there right now. So clearly, I mean, thank you so much for that.
You have a greater purpose, right? So if you had done, if that was the end of your life, you wouldn't have fulfilled that divine blueprint, your soul purpose. So clearly you're still here for a reason.
Okay, that gives me a lot of peace of mind. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you, Natasha, and thank you, Linda, for that. That was absolutely beautiful. Okay, next up we have Tish again, and then we do have a couple questions in the chat. So Tish, how are you feeling again tonight?
Oh, very good, thank you. I have my wine. I guess I don't know if I have a particular question, but I do want to share.
Sorry, can I interrupt something?
Sure.
Don't ask for guidance when you're drinking wine or intoxicated. Just it reminded me. Yeah. Because it opens up your chakras and your energy a lot. So just do it when you're sober. But okay, go on.
Oh, okay, thank you. I recently prayed very fervently to God. I needed I need this COVID business over. It's driving me insane. Anyways, so I did that one night, and then the next morning I woke up. I had a lucid dream. Mm-hmm. And before I woke up, this lucid dream, it was a letter with writing on it, and I skimmed it quickly. They're saying they're arresting government officials in Quebec and Ontario right now. That's what it showed on in my dream, and something I think, I can't remember the exact words, but it's everything's going to be soon, or soon be over. I was talking to a friend not too long ago, and we talked about how actually it was my supervisor. just talking about how traffic was starting to pick up, and she said, and I told her, I don't hear the planes anymore, and she said, oh, just the other day or so, 5 planes were the big jumbo planes were overhead, and I took that as a sign. They're taking those bastards away.
I thought that was a sign of more travel opening up, but yeah, that's
no, those are the prisoners. No, they're taking the prisoners away. They're filling them in the planes and taking them away. I took that as a sign. Okay. So I just wanted to share that. I'm hoping I'm right, because I really want this business to be done.
Yeah, I mean, you and me both, and it's whenever I ask about the situation, I always get hold your light, hold your space. It's a battle between dark and light right now, and we need to just keep our vibration, our energy high. Yeah, you do practical stuff too, but it's it will of course pass. Definitely, we just have to keep our hopes and our expectation, our faith high. But thank you for sharing. Yeah.
That was
definitely
awesome.
a good sign. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Tish, and thank you, Natasha, for that. Absolutely. We have a couple questions here. We have an interesting one from Mira again. We were speaking about portals. Thank you for that, James. Any quick tips on closing a portal?
Well, like I said, bringing a fire dragon of the highest light to clean the energy of the structure it's in, whatever building it's in. Call in Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron. I have that little invocation I'm going to send afterwards to close it. Close this negative portal. I can read it now. It's please clear and remove energetic imprints and residues from this space in all directions of time. Please cancel, clear, and erase the effects of these imprints in all directions of time. Please close and seal any negative portals, openings, vortexes, or gateways in, around, or above this structure or home. Please seal and close these in all directions of time. Thank you. And that is the best thing, is call in the angels, the dragons, and then call in the dragons afterwards to still clear the energy of the land beneath. Don't forget the land beneath. It's not just the building itself.
Thank you. Excellent question and excellent answer. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Mira, for that question. Ashara has a wonderful question in the chat. Natasha, can you speak into the topic of imaginary friends that so many children seem to have?
Yes, those are the spiritual team that they see. When we're kids, we are so open, and I believe, and animals too, of course, can see beyond the veil, like you guys said, but the cats and the dogs. Those those kids are seeing, the angel, maybe their guardian angel, a dragon, a spirit guide, or sometimes it could be a spirit, an earthbound spirit, but they're just more open before, life, society, school shuts them down. So I wouldn't dismiss it. I would ask with an openness, if your kids are seeing that or have an imaginary friend.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, before going to other questions from the chat, we have Darkis coming back. Hi, Darkis.
Hello. I was wondering, Natasha, when we hear about lucid dreams, I'm not too sure I understand it. Is it dreaming? It was the first time I dreamt that I was dreaming. Is that what a lucid dream is? What is that?
It's, well, I think, who is it, Tish, should answer that question better than me.
Because I saw this in my dream. I was dreaming. I saw this man beside my bed. I looked in my dream. It looked real, but I remember dreaming. I said, oh my gosh, what are you doing there in my dream? I looked around, my husband is there. And I said, typical me, my personality, of course you're not my husband, so what the hell are you doing there? And anyways, I said, oh, it's you. I turned and I kept on sleeping, but that was the same man that I had a dream months before when I was in his spaceship. Wow.
Okay.
But anyways, I was wondering, is that what a lucid dream is? Is that you dream that you're dreaming? So if someone can answer this, thank you.
Yeah, I would let someone else answer that because I'm not involved too much in lucid dreaming.
Tish, you want to take this one? You have your hand. You're waving your hand. Your hand's gonna fall off there a little bit. Go ahead.
It's not like I'm an expert. I'm not an expert, but from my experience, lucid dreaming is like it's the moment you're edging out of your deep sleep and just about you're going to be awake. You're in the space of consciousness and unconsciousness. So you're just under from fully waking up. Oh, Darkis. Oh, there you are. So that's what lucid dreaming is. Because at that point, I think that's when you can recall your dreams the most. It's not when you're in deep sleep, you can't. But it's when you're just before you're about to wake up. Or it feels like you're about to wake up, but you're not there.
May I interject a little thing about I found out that lucid dreaming is when you're in a deep sleep and you're having a dream. And when you're in the dream, you suddenly realize, oh, I'm dreaming, and you carry on being aware in your dream and make the dream turn out to what you want. That's what I've heard.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that question. Sonia, welcome to the group. How are you doing tonight?
I'm great. I just wanted to bring up about the children with my son had ghost brothers. He was able to talk to spirit as a baby. And he would just look up from the table and he'd be blah, 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 blah. And it was just talking to people. And he ended up telling me about all his ghost brothers and who they were and what they did and stuff. And I videoed it all when he was about 3 or 4 years old. So that, and then he said this to his friends when he was about 4 or 5. And they says, oh, that's scary. I don't like it. And then he didn't want to do it anymore. Yeah. And now he's 18 and he doesn't think he can do it. And I know that he will be able to, but he's got to get through it.
Yeah, and it's the fear that's a big block as well, for sure. And if other people ridicule you, like I asked my mother, did I have imaginary friends? And she goes, no, you were normal. So that right there tells me that if I did, shut that down right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but well, my children are double donor. So the egg donor happened to go on platform. So it's not surprising that both my kids are very spiritually inclined. In fact, we met at the spiritual church and she just happened to be 20 years younger than me. So a good specimen. And she's very spiritual as well. So, but my son actually helped, I think he was about 9 years old. We went to the Quaker church. No, maybe it was six or 7. We went to the Quaker church because it was the only place that I could go and I could have relief for an hour without the kids because I was a solo mom. And the pastor's daughter had passed over, and my son was able to connect to her and tell the pastor, what was going on. And it was really a beautiful experience. So yeah, those are my 2 cents worth.
Oh, great. Hopefully he opens up more and more as he gets older.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sonia, for that. And thank you, Natasha, as well. Michelle, you have a question.
Yes. What about near-death experiences?
That is, sorry, go on.
No, yeah, I had them twice. So,
okay.
One I had when I was in labor of my 3rd daughter. I had so much pain and I was exhausted, and I flipped out of my body and I was sitting there like a Buddha in the corner of the room, and there was still a string connected to me, what I could see. And the second one was when I had a surgery on my back in 2000, 21 years ago. And I saw a huge man with a huge beard and a staff. And I saw that man again when I climbed actually a year after my surgery, the St. Caterina mountain in Egypt. So yeah, maybe a lot of people have questions about near death experience and what they can see or meet.
I mean, so, you know, what I take from that is that, yeah, you were still connected with your soul was still connected, but you're almost going into the light. It sounds like a cliche, but as I see it, there is a light and all the beings coming with their arms out to reach you out. And it just wasn't your time. It's interesting that your soul popped out though.
Yeah, but because the big man said, like, and I think it was Moses. I don't know. I think that was Moses, but he says it's not your time. You don't come in. And I says, I want to come in. He says, nope.
Exactly.
That was it. I didn't come in, and I says, I just want to stay, and I didn't stay. He sent me back, and my husband said it took 4 hours to get you out of the
anesthesia.
Anesthesia, yeah. And then a month later, I got the invoice of the hospital, and there was reanimation on it. And I says to why do I have to pay reanimation? What happened? And they didn't want to say. So yeah, so apparently I stepped out for a moment at that point. Yeah.
And did you get any more senses after that, or did you feel different, or were you?
Oh, I'm always connected with angels, and
yeah, I find after near death experiences, people are all of a sudden, there's almost like there's no veil there, you know, they're just like, oh yeah, this is an angel right beside me, you know. Yeah, they're feeling things a lot more.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle, and thank you, Natasha, for that. Very interesting topic. Again, another topic we could just spend the whole night on: near-death experiences, portals, you know, lucid dreaming, all of these wonderful things. They're really, it's hard, right? Because a lot of all these topics are really interconnected in various ways. So when we're starting to talk about what we were talking about tonight, it really kind of branches out into anything, because we're all experiencing some wonderful things across the country, across the planet right now, and everything's ramping up. So it's really a special time that we're gathering together like this. Kate, you have your hand up. Welcome.
Hi there. Hi, Natasha. Here's a question for you. How do these beings that you've described in all of these different forms, how do they relate to other life forms?
You mean alien life forms?
Yeah, yeah. Word alien, but that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm not really experienced with that. It just hasn't resonated with me to connect with any alien life form or other species. I've always just dealt with angels, dragons, you know, these beings that come from God. So I really can't comment on those other life forms. Not with any.
Do you think they oversee all life forms?
No, I think they're another species like humans, you know, there's a lot of different planets, and I think they're just a different species. We're humans, they're whatever their species is. I still think God oversees everything, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Kate, for the question, and thank you, Natasha, as well.